Here's an example with three objects that I want to join together and make one bake material. Each of the objects has to be a simple mesh object. One of the objects has a skin modifier, and I do a scaling of the roof. And I select some faces at the bottom that won't be seen, and I delete them. Coplanar, and I delete the faces. Now, step one is to remove the modifiers. Any modifier has to be removed or applied. So there is a skin modifier on one of the objects, so I apply it. Now I check that the others don't have modifiers. Step 2 is to join the objects. There are three objects to be joined. Control J. Now I create a bake material. It'll be added to the bottom of the list of materials. Click the plus. Type in a name. Bake material. Using Node Wrangler. And I create a bake image, a 2K image. That should be good enough. Click New and set the resolution 2048. Set the name to bake and click OK. But I now need a UV map specifically for it. So step 5 is create a second UV map. Click the plus sign to create a new UV map and give it a name joined. Click the camera so it's seen in the workspace. Unwrap the joined object. First, I'll make a node called joined. So I delete the texture coordinate node. So the image has a UV map especially designed for it. I select the joined object. and I go to the UV Map workspace. Joined is the UV Map name, and the image name is baked. U to unwrap. I do a smart unwrap, and I leave a small amount of space between the islands, 0.02, and I do some editing. I pack the islands to use the space as efficiently as possible, and I do some further editing. Now add UV map nodes. The materials need a UV map. So I copy the joined UV map node with its image, the baked image, and it will be pasted in each one of the materials. So a simple copy and paste procedure in each one of the materials, beginning from the top and working downwards. And at the bottom of the list is baked material, and I choose it, the image that is. But I need to tell the materials which UV map to use. So I use a node for that. Delete the texture coordinate node. And I choose UV map as the name. And the door is done now, and now do the roof. I put a special UV map node and choose the correct name, UV map. So the roof and the doorway need this to be done. Now select the baked material and the joined objects. So I start from the top and make sure the baked image is chosen. So it's selected. I click on it, and I go down the list one by one and click on the baked image. Right down to the bottom of the list. The object is black because there is no image, no baked image yet. So now I bake the diffuse image. Or I can bake and emit image as well. They're both equivalent to each other. But I must go to cycles to do the baking. So under bake, I can also bake out the ambient, occlusion, and the roughness as well, but I'll concentrate on the diffuse this time. And just a color is needed that will give the pure colors that I need. And click on bake. I'll get a circular dependency error, but I ignore that. And a couple of minutes later, I'll get the bake image. And I can see the result because I have it hooked up. In the workspace, I can examine the result. It looks good to me. I save the image out, or I can pack it. Now it's time to delete the materials that aren't used. Only the bake image is needed. So I click minus, starting at the top, and I leave the bake material. That's the one that is used. And I can check the result again, and I can render it out. But to finish off, I can delete the unused UV map. Note that that UV map isn't the correct one, so let's delete it. And the joined UV map is left. I can rename it if I want. I rename it, but the object goes black because it doesn't know the correct UV map. But in the node, I can choose the right name, and it appears correct now, and I can save out the file.